A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Lunchtime News, coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst Centre here in Colombo. I'm Florine Rajendran. Before going the stories in detail, here's a look at this afternoon's headlines. Final rounds of discussion on a national government to be held today. Number of UPFA constituent parties may break away. Presidential Commission of Inquiry to examine 250 fraud and corruption complaints. 2 persons involved in a series of robberies in Colombo nabbed. Goods worth 10 million rupees seized. Sri Lankan consular officials visit Koba to ascertain if any Sri Lankans were caught in the Saudi building fire. On to your top story this afternoon, discussions have commenced between constituent parties of the United People's Freedom Alliance to contest under a new alliance at the next election. Leader of the Pivithuru Helourume, Udaya Gammanpila, said that 6 parties are at the discussions. Gammanpila said that the Democratic Left Front and the National Freedom Front have already expressed their views at the discussions.
We hope to contest the next local government election under a new alliance. We believe that the constituent parties of the UPFA as well as many in the Sri Lanka Freedom Party will join us in this alliance. Several parties are in the discussion level with us. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party, however, has already broken away from the UPFA and has formed an alliance with the United National Party. Our main objective is to contest the next local government election under a new alliance, and the Democratic Left Front and the National Freedom Front have already expressed consent for this matter with the Pivithuru Helourume. The other parties will do the needful when the time is right.
Meanwhile, leaders of the United People's Freedom Alliance met with President Maithripala Sirisena this morning.
Leaders of several parties, including Vasudeva Nanayakara, Dinesh Gunawardena, as well as leaders of the Desha Vimukti Janata Party and Mahajana Party were present for the meeting with the President. We put forward several factors from our point of view. One was the need to create an administration opposing the United National Party, our unwillingness to form a coalition government with the UNP, and we also pointed out to the President the harmful political effects in appointing the UNP as a partner of the SLFP or the UPFA. In return, he very politely paid attention to these factors. We made a request from him to give a sanction for the opposition to function independently and for it to appoint an opposition leader selected by the majority, and that if this does not happen, the lifespan of the opposition will not last long, following which a major problem would arise among the people who voted for the UPFA. The President responded by saying that he has no intention of appointing an opposition leader of his choice. He said that opportunity would be given for members seated in the opposition to make that decision. These were the matters that were discussed at this meeting. No other particular decision was taken.
The United National Party and the Sri Lanka Freedom Party is to hold its final discussion on the formation of a national government today.
We hope to make this concept of a national government or consensual government a reality rather than just for name's sake. Like never in the history of this country, we are ready to discuss on how our 2 parties as well as other parties can come together in honesty to take this country forward in terms of development, to rid this country of foreign interferences for the sake of the future of the people of this country. In the past, random persons were taken to fill the vacant parliamentary seats. However, in this election, the people of this country very clearly spoke out and wanted us to show how the 2 main political parties in the country can join hands together and create a new political culture that could take this country forward. So, we are holding discussions in order to take that agreement forward as well.
Meanwhile, police have arrested a group of thieves responsible for a spate of robberies from garment factories in the vicinity of Colombo. The suspects were arrested on the 28th of August. The goods taken into custody were displayed for the media today. Police state that the stock of goods taken into custody was worth 10 million rupees. 2 individuals have been arrested in this regard, and it has been revealed that the thefts had taken place in garment factories situated in the Maharagama, Pannipitiya, Nugegoda and Bathramul areas. The Department of Wildlife says that the elephant calf, which was seized from the Gonapinuwala area in Hikkadua, is to be presented before court today.
The elephant calf was taken into the custody of wildlife officials while it was being taken for a perehara at a temple. Assistant Director of the Western Zone of the Department of Wildlife, WAADU Indrajit, said that the elephant calf was seized due to the flaws in the license. He added that pachyderm will be presented to court today, following which the necessary legal action will be taken.
Meanwhile, addressing a meeting convened by the United National Party in the Sapungaskanda area yesterday, UNP MP-elect Ruwan Wijewardena spoke about his future course of action.
We
have now got the opportunity to form our very own government. Through this government, I intend on giving you that rightful place and do everything in my power to resolve your issues as well as issues in this area. I very clearly state to you that I will come forward to do what's required to implement the projects to construct hospitals which were promised.
2 persons have been arrested in Vellavatha, Balapitiya in possession of 5,250 kilograms of dust tea. The suspects were nabbed when a lorry transporting the tea dust was discovered by the police special task force at about 5 a.m. today. The police said that 105 bags of tea dust weighing 50 kilograms each were seized. The Ambalangoda police say that the stock of tea dust was being transported from Ranthombe to Colombo. A number of officials from the Sri Lankan High Commission in Saudi Arabia have visited the residential complex in the eastern city of Koba, which caught fire, to look into whether any Sri Lankans were among the casualties. However, an officer at the labour unit of the commission said that there are no reports of any Sri Lankan being affected by the fire. When News1st inquired about this from the media spokesperson of the Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau, Mangala Randhaniya, he made the following statement.
There are no reports of any Sri Lankan being affected by the fire. Officials of the Sri Lanka High Commission in Saudi Arabia, as well as some retired employees of the High Commission, had visited the location, and we will receive an official report thereafter. But as of now, there are no reports of any Sri Lankan casualties.
Moving back into one of our local stories, the Presidential Commission of Inquiry to investigate and inquire into serious acts of fraud, corruption and abuse of power, state resources and privileges says that it has commenced investigations into 250 complaints. Secretary to the Commission, Lasel De Silva, says that they had received 886 complaints since March this year.
We have received 886 petitions so far. These petitions have been subjected for the consideration of the Commission. Even though a majority of these petitions do not fall under the purview of the Commission, we have decided to investigate the rest of the petitions that do fall under our purview, which amounts to 250. Of this 250, we have commenced investigations into 50 of them. As of now, the investigation into the alleged financial discrepancies into a development project at the Negombo Lagoon is at its final stages. In addition, we are examining the petition filed against the Rakna Lanka company. And since the investigations into these petitions are underway, we hope to examine other petitions and decided to obtain the public statements based on these investigations.
Well, that's a wrap of Lunchtime News this afternoon. You can log into our website www.newsfirst.lk for these stories and much more. For the News1st team, I am Florine Rajendran. Have a wonderful day ahead of you.